Hey everybody, here again another one. Today we're gonna check out Reasonable Crashouts by Wave. So I saw the thumbnail, and assuming he's gonna talk about the three that I'm about to see, I feel like I'm gonna have a few words to say myself on this list. We saw Vincent in the thumbnail. He's earned every Crashout he's had. He's only unjustified in like a few occasions. If we're not tucking those, he's justified in every right.
Pointing out a double standard
If
here,
your
Adrian.
plays burn the entire
We've talked
park.
about this on the show before. You have African-American rappers saying inward this and inward that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Crashouts. We all familiar with them. People that be bugging for no reason. People that be over-exaggerating certain scenarios and just be taken out of context 99% of the time. Shit, I crashed out when I saw that Switch 2 games were £75, fam. Are you mad, bruv? That's like a whole shift at work. And with the whole cost of living crisis we got out here in the UK, you're trying to get me to spend that
Like
to play.
Nintendo was the cheapest games out of the three branches. Or I guess four if you count PC streaming, Steam and all that stuff. Like, Nintendo was the cheapest gaming option, and now it's the most expensive out of them. And the thing is, the next-gen Xbox or PlayStation might be the same way, if not more.
Definitely.
Mario Kart, which is a game you can only play online. Suck your mom, bro. What are you talking about? But for real though, crashing out is an art. It's amazing how some people's first reaction to anything is to start moving like Grog from the cruise, or for them to throw the quickest tantrum possible like their power levels rising, or they're going 0 to 100 like they from Obstacle. But a lot of crash outs are low-key justified. I mean, most of the time these men are just acting out after carefully warning people or just asking politely. And as your host of today's video, I'll be sharing and telling you why these were all reasonable crash outs, starting with the man himself, John Walker. And before I even talk about this man, look at the glaze he's recently been getting with the success of the Thunderbolts movie. It's times like this I think that as a Marvel fan myself, I actually sometimes question the community because they were hating on this man for no reason. Don't get it twisted. I'm guessed that you man are finally recognizing peak. But I've been saying this since Falcon and the Winter Soldier, fam. John Walker has always been cold, fam. His suit was peak, the fights were fire, and his story was peak. US Agent is such a cool character, but he got sold completely in the story. It was more than...
Yeah, I see where he's coming from. Like, okay, if we run it back to when he first got there, right? He was at the top of the game. This man thinks he's got like 3 medals of honor. Do you know how much you gotta do to get 3 medals of honor? And he's still like, he looks like he's still in his 30s. Like, he still looks young in this, so he's done like good work. The thing is, when he became Cap, no one really helped him. Like, you had Sam and Bucky that were on this case for who knows how long, but they never really helped him for real. They just walked away. And like whenever they had to work together, they weren't even like telling him all he needed to know. The only teammate that he had, the only person that really like was trying to help him at all got killed right in front of him.
But the thing is, that's why I think his story is tragic, is the fact that he took that anger and he did what any reasonable person. He did what many people would do. They would go find him and kill him. But the thing is, you're a symbol. Now, you're not just a person, you're a symbol. And the fact that you got blood on the shield.
Let's be so for real. Steve does too. If we're being so for real,
World War II. There's no way he killed anyone.
He shot many people. Granted, they were. And the thing is, you can say, oh, but they were Nazis, right? But the difference is, they were also a terrorist group that was after them in the first place.
Can I rephrase that? There's no way he didn't kill anyone. He must have killed a few. He must have killed like dozens.
I know. I saw that shield go
at someone. You're throwing a shield at someone.
Made of the strongest metal in your universe. You threw it so hard it cracked off their domicile and backed into his hands. And he has super strength.
He had a gun with him. There's no way there's no way. Hold on. I'm sure he killed many people.
And you can always say, oh, but they were, Nazis or whatever. Yeah, you can say that. But the people they were fighting in the Falcon and Soldier were also terrorists at the same time. They're just like, and I guarantee, you can say like, oh, but they had a noble goal. Don't you think Nazis thought they had a noble goal? I'm just saying, don't you think that they thought they had a noble cause or a noble goal? Granted, some of them probably got into it because they didn't want to be targeted.
Wait, what were the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? What was their cause again?
basically when half of the world got snapped back, everyone was like poor and in poverty. So it was like a Robin Hood situation, but they kept killing people to accomplish that goal, even innocent people. Like, it wasn't even killing like the dudes that was really behind it. It was killing also just random bystanders while they were at it.
Also, can we also point out something? That the
What?
fact that that snap happened, and imagine how many bank accounts were like, well, they're never coming back. Let's just shut them down and keep the money. It's like, oh yeah, you don't have any money in your bank account. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's like people think Steve never kills anyone, but it's always like y'all didn't see what this man always had to do. And granted, Steve was always just a good person in general. Y'all can't expect the golden standard of Steve Rogers, morally wise, to be in most people that exist on this earth. Especially in the modern day. Like, this man was going into war with about like 20 disabilities and still wanted to go for the love of the people. This
Okay.
man
Wait.
couldn't lift more than like 40 pounds, give or take.
Okay.
Let's be
Okay.
for
Okay.
real.
Steve's morality is now I'm remembering something. The fact that uh what was his name again?
Lucky?
No, the new Captain America. What was his name?
John Walker.
Yeah, that was it. His crash out was like it. It was
It's
what a normal person would
understandable.
do.
It's a regularly used, it's not unreasonable. You know what
But
I
the thing
mean?
is, he saw his best friend die in front of him. Yeah, it would drive him to anger. But also, we cannot question that Cat's like morality is good when he basically knew Bucky killed Tony's parents and was like, "Dude, he didn't know
Yeah,
what he was
that's the
doing. Like,
part.
calm down."
Yeah, that's the
That's
part
where
where it gets like, it's like a gray area. Because it's like you would understand. Like, the thing is, yeah, he should have told Tony, but it's like I can understand why he didn't say it. Because like,
yeah,
imagine
but
if they never saw that video, it wouldn't have mattered in the long run. It would
you know,
have been so easier. And it's
but
like
it
that's like saying that's like it's like if he never found that video out, like, it would have kept the peace more or less. I'm not saying it was right that he withheld that information. I'm just saying I think that's where his mind was at. Because they would have never thought they would have ever seen or found that the information. And it's like if he never found that out, they could have just let the piece be and nothing like would have like gone down the way that it did. It's still not right either way. And granted, I feel like Tony, yeah, his crash out was justified, but it's like, do you not know that this man was like what happened to him?
but the thing is, and I quote, uh, I think the main crash out. I don't. Well, I think it was kind of on Bucky, but I think it was Captain. Like, you knew this entire time and you didn't tell me. Like,
That's
and
the
now
thing that that's the thing that
and now
got him.
and now I'm finding out from a villain, and like you're now holding me back and saying, dude, I know he killed your parents, but forgive and forget.
Yeah, and even then, like, he didn't really kill your parents. All he
He was
did,
brainwashed.
he had the gun, Hydra pulled the trigger. It's like when have you seen One Piece?
Yeah.
It's like when Doflamingo puppeted that king guy, made him slay his own people. He was crying while doing it and telling them to run, but he had no way to stop it at all.
But the thing is, like Bucky's story is tragic, and like sure, like the thing is, he still killed the people. So it's like, what's word? Like he's mostly in the good, but there is part of him where it's like you did pull the trigger, even though you weren't doing it. You did pull the trigger.
Yeah, but it wasn't his mind that did it. Like,
But
as the Winter Soldier, he didn't say a single word. He was only there to cause mayhem and do assassin work.
and we're not forgetting that earlier in like Captain America Winter Soldier, where he was like basically being electrocuted.
Yeah, are we not gonna act like that's not so sad? This man got his mind taken over, and it's like even when he got his mind back, he has all of the memories of what he's done.
Like literally, like when
That's the
everyone went to the
ultimate like punishment mentally to have to go through. The fact that you were
and
enslaved to kill anyone that they sent you out. It could have been someone that didn't even deserve to be killed at all. And like you had to do it because your body had no other choice than to do it itself. You
it's
had to
like
go yeah, and you had to go through years of mental training to not get reactivated. This man cried with joy the first time he didn't get back enslaved. Do you know how heartbreaking that is just to see how much a man can cry just knowing that he's free?
But and the like literally when spoilers if you haven't seen Thunderbolts. When everyone went to the Shadowverse, he basically was the first one to get out of it. And it's like I already dealt with I've come to terms with
Yeah.
I've come to terms with it.
Like I know people were mad that Bucky wasn't the main like character in the Thunderbolts, and it's like, yeah, he's like the most interesting, but like, what would be the point? That's like having the person that's already had his character development, and like all the other people that only had like a movie or two at most. Like we've seen Bucky's story over like 5 movies. Like, yeah, and yeah, he's the leader of the Thunderbolts, but it's like we need a different person's
I thought
perspective
it
to
was
go
Elena.
from. No, she's just like the person we follow. Bucky's like stated to be like the leader of the Thunderbolts because they trust. Because like out of all of them, they see him as the most qualified to be the leader.
Also, I'm just gonna say that if the
Like,
current
like,
Thunderbolts
yeah, but they,
were
like,
there
yeah,
in New York when the Centauri invaded, I'm pretty sure they would have died.
yeah. Bucky was the leader of the Thunderbolts because, like, let's be honest, none of them trusted either one of them enough to be the leader. Maybe John, but it's like even then he knew that, like, he knew that, like, I'm not the leader of this. But like, let's be so honest, and like, no one else in that whole team has leader qualifications other than Bucky, and even Bucky, it's like
And
teetering the
qualified to be
line.
Captain America through his accolades, achievements, and physical capabilities. He was an
How long
essay
was
man
that
for this
pause,
role,
by the
bro. Big
way?
man said. I mean, shit.
I have
I'm
no
being completely
idea.
honest here. After I watched Thunderbolts with my boy, I think John could beat Steve in a fight, and it might not even be close. Fam. After that super jump he did, which I did not know they could do. Fam. I don't even
No,
Okay, no, he was in peak fit. Look,
physically stronger, yes. Can beat Steve in a fight, no.
no.
He's too raw emotion. Steve has taken on much higher
Okay,
level threats than John has.
but when people complain about
Like, let's not
Steve is
forget, Steve was in
Steve is
the
physically
rawest of the
stronger.
raw. Yeah.
Wait, no,
St-
Steve is not physically stronger. Well, because the thing is, Steve was a weak kid. Like he had many health conditions,
yes.
and like was like, and then he was put in the machine. Yeah, but Walker was already in prime condition when he got injected with the serum.
Yeah, let's not forget, this man Steve was put into one of the rawest wars of all time. World War II, one of the rawest of the raw wars to be in. And the only reason he stopped fighting was literally because he got in that ice. If he
Frozen.
did, yes, if he did not get in that ice, he probably would have committed the same amount of like golden, like honors and medal as John did if he didn't already in the actual movie. Like, let's be honest, he probably did. They just didn't mention it in the time skip. That because I know like time passed, like a montage in the movie, if you remember right. So no, Steve is still winning that fight. I'm
know
sorry.
that was possible. They had me in the cinema with my mouth dropped. I didn't know he could do that. It was crazy, fam. But seriously, John Walker had every right to bug out and do what he had to do in the show. And you know, I'm just gonna cut the shit and get to the part where everybody supposedly throws shade to this guy. So the moment that made everybody hate John Walker, which is mostly the part where he killed the Flag Smasher, and everybody saying things like, oh, the guy was trying to surrender. A hero doesn't kill. And by far my favorite one, Steve Rogers wouldn't have done this. Like, you sure Steve Rogers hasn't killed anyone, bro?
Okay, pause it. Wait, pause it.
Yes, look at what he just. No, let's see let's see the clips he plays.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, look at that. I want to. This is the one I want to see the most.
Just
Look
wouldn't have
at
done
what he
this.
did
Like,
to
you
this
sure
man.
Steve Rogers hasn't killed anyone, bro?
Look at this man's body. He's aerial.
He's like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Is an arm supposed to look like this?
That man is dead. He got hit in the head so hard, his body flung around in the air and did a double spin.
But the
How do
thing
you
is,
hit a man so hard to make him do that?
it's true Captain America doesn't kill, but the thing is,
They
no,
should
Captain
be
America
dead.
doesn't. No, but the thing is, how to explain it? You publicly did it. You basically killed a man, and there was blood on the shield, and like when they were filming.
Dude, let's be honest. There should be blood on that shield. I know there should be blood on this shield.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Also,
did it in front of-
he killed the aliens in the Battle of New York. Those were still lives, regardless of if they were aliens or not. He killed those people. Like, let's be so for real. You can say, oh, they were aliens all you want to, and oh, they were trying to kill us, so we had to kill them type stuff. So do humans. Those were still living, breathing creatures, and he did kill them. That counts. That's murder
But Captain,
under the court of law.
Under the court of law, let's try these aliens from different planets with blasters that can take down our
Yeah,
most
but think
powerful
about
weapon.
it. We do that as humans to other countries all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna.
As long as you are the one being, as long as you're the ones
international
being attacked, you are the victims. That still counts as murder, regardless of if you are the victim or the attacker. Steve did technically kill things and people that have walked on this earth.
Play it.
No, hold on, let me skip to where we left off. Hold on.
This video's gonna be 40 minutes
How long is
if we
this?
continue ranting.
This video is like already 15
We're not even 3 minutes in, and I think we talked for 30.
Yeah, we talked for almost 16 minutes.
Let's be honest, superheroes have killed a bunch of people regardless of them being bad guys or not. Most of the time we don't even count them as kills because they be doing way worse shit most of the time. With that being said, let me give you a deep analysis of the scenario which led John Walker to even kill the Flag Smasher in the first place. So before this even happens, the leader of the Flag Smashers, Carly, or better known as Pebbles bro from Top Boy, was planning to separate all the man them and kill John Walker in the first place. So Bucky and Sam get to her and realize they start Walker, so they start moving to his location ASAP. Fast forward now and they're all scrapping with the rest of the terrorists. And in this scene, John Walker gets grabbed by the man he kills later, who attempts to hold him so Pebbles can kill him with a knife, bro. So Battlestar tackles Carly, and then she just punches the life out of my man, killing him. And like Naruto was when he thought Hinata died, John Walker was furious, fam. So he starts chasing down the terrorists to find out where Carly's gone, and in pursuit, the terrorist just dashes a concrete bin at him. And bear in mind, I didn't share this at the start, but he's now a super soldier. But if he didn't have the serum, he probably would have been knocked out or worse. So John Walker finally chases my man down and does the deed. And look at Carly looking all shocked at one of her brethren died when she was killing innocent people the entire show.
Like you were going to kill him.
Took hostages.
You're like, I killed your friend and you killed mine? You monster.
You were gonna kill me, and you were mad that I retaliated. You were gonna shake me like I was in the UK for real, and now you're mad at me.
You didn't kill me, but you killed my friend, and now you're pissed off.
And mind you, my friend is actually innocent. You may think your people are innocent, but he's an actual veteran that's out here trying to save people, and you know that, and you kill him.
Also, how does the United States? Wait, how does the U.S. have jurisdiction here? Because I'm pretty sure this isn't the U.S.
It's not. The U.S. has jurisdiction everywhere as long as we say we do. With guns.
GTA Ragdoll out the car to even kill the hostages. I guess it was saving the goat himself, John Walker, fam. The show was painting John Walker as a bad guy from the start. Like Bucky and Sam were hating on him for no reason when him and Battlestar were just trying to do their job. Remember, the only reason why John Walker was even able to turn into Captain America was because Sam's dumbass decided not to take the opportunity for Captain America himself. He was handpicked by the man and he decided to take it and give it to the government. Like, bro, it's your fault that shit even happened in the first place. And Bucky was just hating because he wasn't Steve. He was up there gobbling Steve shit so bad that he couldn't see that somebody else would have eventually picked up the mantle of Captain America. And instead of being a comrade and a friend, he just became a hater, bro. And by far, this is the worst version of Bucky in the MCU, fam. His trim is shit, bro. His barber don't mess him up, fam. Don't get me wrong, John Walker definitely had his flaws. Like right after he killed the Flag Smasher and started scrapping with Bucky and Sam, he was low-key trying to kill them, I'll be honest, he was crazy here. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he was treated poorly by other superheroes. Yes, John Walker was working for the government, and Bucky and Sam weren't. But that doesn't mean you give the guy mistreatment. That was just mad unprofessional. Especially from unks who've been in the game collectively for like 100 years. What the hell is wrong with you two? The type of treatment these two were given Walker and Battlestar was something Steve would have never done. And they were both mentioning his morals and ideals significantly in the show just to never be behind it themselves. And another thing going back to Carly was when Sam was out here saying she wasn't a terrorist, acting like he didn't know the type of shit she was doing. The writing in this show was so twisted. They tried to justify Carly's actions so much more and practically painted John Walker as more of a villain to some people. How is that even possible, bro? I'm happy that John Walker is finally getting recognized for how cool he is now with how cold the Thunderbolts movie was. But even before this, Marvel fans were just hating on him because he wasn't Steve. And fans act like Steve was a golden boy, like he wasn't throwing his shield at 70 miles per hour and shooting a bunch of people. Marvel fans are so delusional, bro. You were holding on to John Walker's kill like Iron Man didn't murder a bunch of terrorists in his movie. Like remember, before John Walker became US agent, he killed one person as Captain America. One person, fam. And it wasn't even someone special. It was a terrorist who was about to get him murdered. People hate on John Walker need to jump off their high horse, man, for real. But John Walker is a sick character, and I'm happy people are starting to jump on that opinion. Thunderbolts was such a cold movie, and as a Marvel fan, I can say we're back, fam. For real though, the John Walker hate was never justified, and his Crashout killing the Flag Smasher.
Did you say we're back fully?
Okay, also, I love how we're 5 minutes in and we've only talked about one person.
Yeah, We are terrible at keeping the video
It
going.
just made sense in the moment. Fans were just hating at this because he wasn't Steve. And just because the writers want you to dislike a character shouldn't mean that they're actually an unlikable character. John Walker was a real victim of the show, being mistreated and disrespected by comrades, being significantly weaker than every foe they had to face in the show, which probably caused him to take the serum. Because in his head, he was probably thinking, if I can't defend him, then what's the point of being Captain America? And him seeing his best friend die, the only guy who was by his side to then kill the murderer, to then be demonized and stripped away from his title by the government who made him into this, and he still took it on the chin and saved the people in the car. This gave me mad respect for Walker, bro, I'll be honest. And when I saw his redemption in the fans, that's when I knew we were doing something right. And now it's time for the next crash out. Benson from Regular Show. To this day, to me, Regular Show is one of the most rewatchable cartoons of all time. It's like you get a different perspective or viewpoint of it every time you watch it at a different stage of your life. And when I was a kid, I used to hate Benson, bro. To me, when I was younger, he was just a guy who used to get angry at Mordecai Rigby all the time. He was just mad uptight and annoying. Like, when I was a kid, I used to hate how strict teachers were.
Dang it, I was gonna say we have to try
let's just get our crash outs right now.
Yeah, this man, the only unjustifiable crash out was eating their burgers from that one truck that they remember those burgers that were only sold like every 100 years or something? Yeah, that was that, and the fact that when that one episode when like he sold their football table, what do you call those things?
No, it was no. It was a hockey table, like
yeah, foosball table. Yeah, he sold that when they got the job done, and he didn't hold up to his word. Those were like the only things I remember that like weren't even justified for real. Everything else, let's be so for real.
Like
they've
burning down the park, making a giant crater in the park,
sending demons after weirdos after gods to this facility,
sending them to the moon.
You sent me back to the 80s through a magic phone because you guys got stuck in a time vortex.
Like literally, when Benson when Pops is like, you should be nicer to Mordecai Rigby, like they set the park on fire.
And when he tried to hold in that rage, he turned into a sun.
Yeah.
And that job is all that he has, and he stated that multiple times. It's honestly kind of sad for real. Like that's all that he feels like he's worth is that one manager job.
No, imagine like you've had a like your company is going smoothly. Then two employees try to like hurt your company, and then you're told like you can't get mad at them. It's like
they are ruining this facility.
No, they are physically destroying remember when Rigby was lazy and decided to hire a company to paint the house instead for free, and they painted it basically made it invisible, and they were like, we're gonna explode the house now. Okay, continue.
On the time they got this man assaulted by unicorns, and they took his balls out his dispenser.
Oh, they broke the they broke the window to his car, and then stole the car.
Yeah, and violated this man.
At the time, I used to relate Benson to a teacher so much I'd low-key dislike my man heavy. But what I've come to realize as I've become more and more conscious, self-aware, and have experienced more life as I've grown up, is that I feel bad for Benson low-key. Benson just wanted all his employees to just do their jobs and commit. And instead of getting that, most of them were just slacking, especially Mordecai and Rigby. Benson just wanted these guys to do simple things like clean a room, fold chairs, take responsibility for any problems they've done. And what do they do instead? They go slack off or go do something completely random that isn't their job. Time and time again, Benson would have to keep telling Mordecai Rigby over and over again just to do their jobs, which isn't something you should be telling two grown-ass men to do. They should just be doing it instead. Benson would have to always lash out and start raging at these men, and they got so bad at one point, Pops had to tell him to stop yelling at Mordecai Rigby or else he would be fired. And Mordecai Rigby were taking a piss out of this and took advantage, which literally caused Benson to turn into the sun and started destroying the park. Benson has showed time and time again he just wanted Mordecai Rigby to do their jobs, and we all know every time he threatened to fire Mordecai Rigby, he was never gonna fire them. He only said that so he could push some sort of urgency and get them to do their jobs. But instead of doing their jobs, they'll just go on some random side quest that destroys the park 99% of the time. Like if I was Mordecai Rigby's manager, I would be tweaking out as well, fam. These guys never took their job seriously. Benson never asked him to do any complicated shit. All he would ask him to do were baby chores we were all doing at like 9 years old. And instead Mordecai Rigby were treating us like it was the hardest thing to do possible. Benson's anger and rage towards his employees is the most justified point I've made in this video, because it's not only that he's their boss and that it's his responsibility to hold them accountable to their jobs and make sure everything gets done, but it's also
Even
the
when
fact that
Benson
Benson
was
cares
trying to
about
get
his employees.
replacements,
Like I mentioned earlier,
Mordecai
time and time
Rigby were
again
like,
he's
nah.
willing to fire Mordecai Rigby.
Yes.
Like he literally says this every episode, and he did fire them in one, but they quit anyway, so don't even count. Just didn't work out.
No,
for
they
them.
didn't
But
quit.
majority of the time,
Well,
Benson
Mordecai
just says it
Rigby
as a threat so they can do their
basically
jobs. Benson has a soft spot for Mordecai Rigby. By the time Mordecai was depressed about Margaret and he told Mordecai to go speak to Margaret to get closure. By the time he helped Rigby to pass a foreign language class to graduate high school. And he even helped save them in the stick hockey episode after he got rid of it because Mordecai Rigby yet again didn't do their job.
this is what
But
we
by
talked
far
about
the
earlier.
saddest moment of Benson is the episode where Mordecai Rigby destroyed
Because
a
our
car
track
and
record
Mr.
was
Mailer
not
puts the
good.
responsibility of that on Benson or else he's gonna fire him. So he has to go drive all the way to the dealership all day to get there. And Mordecai Rigby sneak their way onto his car, and since Benson has driven out too far already, he agrees and lets them stay with him to drive to the dealership. And during the drive, they start chilling and having fun. And there's even a moment where Benson tells Mordecai Rigby the reason why he gets mad at them all the time is just because he wants them to do better and push them for that. Benson then hands them the responsibility to keep driving since he's gonna take a nap. And Mordecai Rigby decides to take a detour, drive into an arcade, and spend all night at the arcade. And then we just get this sad scene from Benson.
I'm about to lose my job! You may not care about keeping your jobs, but I care about keeping mine. Because if I lose my job, I have nothing. Do you hear me?
That is just sad,
All
honestly.
Benson wanted to do was get these men to take their job seriously, do better in their lives, make something of themselves. But instead of that, they just messed up. They just messed about, which slowly had repercussions and problems toward Benson since he's their manager and takes responsibility for any job or work they haven't done yet. I mean, Mordecai Rigby most of the time will complete a task of something, but it's normally at the cost of something else. Like when Benson, who was very extreme for this, I'm not gonna lie to you, hired a bounty hunter to find his car, and Mordecai Rigby stole the car to fix the window they broke, which eventually caused the bounty hunter to just blow up the car, but the glass stayed. Like that's a piss take, I'm gonna be honest, fam. But for real though, if we're keeping it 100, for us adults now that used to watch regular show when we were kids, probably sympathize with Benson a lot more now, as we ourselves have grown and gained a lot more responsibilities and realize way more now. Mordecai Rigby were in the wrong most of the time. I really and truly, they should have been fired a long time ago, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And now for my final crash out. And before I even enlighten you on why this person was right for getting angry, I'm gonna paint a picture for you so you can get the most out of this explanation. We all most likely have somebody in our lives we hate. It's deep in our bones, deep in our hearts. I'm talking about when you hear their name, you get furious, fam. You just start raging with envy when they start winning and you don't. And you weren't always like this. You and this person used to be friends, comrades, something like brothers. People couldn't separate you two sometimes because of how close you were. But then they betrayed you. They let you down in your darkest hour. They fumbled when you needed them most, and after that moment, you vowed to never trust a human soul like that ever again. Now I want you to take all the anger I've just helped you resurface and throw it at Dinkelberg and scream it with me. But Dinkelberg, man. Everything in Mr. Turner's life was ultimately horrible because of Dinkelberg. The weather was horrible. Dinkelberg. His tie didn't match his shirt. Dinkelberg. The Turner household ran out of milk. Dinkelberg. And when I was younger and used to watch Very Odd Parents, often I just thought that Mr. Turner was a hater. However, I have some strong evidence here which justifies the hate against Dinkelberg. In the episode where Timmy goes back in time, we can see his parents. And before Mr. Turner was with his wife, she was close to Dinkelberg. Now I know that's a relatable feeling. When you see fine shit but they already with somebody else, that shit gets me heated for real. Not to mention, Dinkelberg is a huge rage baiter. This guy would spend time out of his day to go bug and annoy Mr. Turner on some dumb shit. Whether he used to show off him being rich or even just come to his house for no reason to gloat and be passive aggressive. We all know what it's like to be rage baited by that one person who consistently does it to the point we all fall for it. And Mr. Turner was getting this done daily, from his childhood all the way to when he became a dad and was raising Timmy. Dinkelberg was consistently baiting this man and it was working. He even convinced Mr. Turner to try and kill this guy several times. Believe me, if I could wake up tomorrow with Toon Force and blow up my enemy, I probably would. I'll be honest. As peaceful as I am, I hate some brothers, but we ain't gonna go into that. But to get real here, I'm sure the hate Mr. Turner had towards Dinkelberg was just because he was jealous of Dinkelberg for having no kids. And the Dink in Dinkelberg stands for dual income, no kids. And that's how they're so rich compared to the Turners who can't afford half the stuff the Dinkelbergs be buying. And that's probably why Mr. Turner carries some hate for Dinkelberg in the future. Also, Timmy was ruining a bunch of stuff for his dad, like losing awards he should have won, but then they got handed to Dinkelberg, which is a piss take. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be heated at that. And as an adult, I can humbly say, but Dinkelberg, I hate Dinkelberg, you hate Dinkelberg, we all hate Dinkelberg, but this guy, man. But ladies and gentlemen, we at the end of the flick. If you lot got any more reasonable crash outs I haven't mentioned,
hey, that was it, bro. So we paused so many. This video is like 2 times as long as the actual video itself, bro.
And we did that in the first 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. I think it's just because we know more about the first one than the other 2 for real. I mean, granted, we know all of them. It's just the fact that me and you are like very passionate about like superhero stuff.
Wait, you don't say.
He always has to pull it out. Granted, I have an Infinity Gauntlet, but like I'm missing a stone, so I don't
Have
wanna
I
pull it
tried to
out.
steal it many a time? Yes.
And I catch him every time. Let's be honest.
Okay, what part of me do you think is sneaky?
None. You're a 6'8" ginger. You're the easiest thing to pinpoint within a 60-mile radius. Someone try to do the Michael Jackson Thriller dance on the.
No. It was like the classics cartoon where he's like sees someone sneaking into the house.
Right, Looney Tunes looking bad, but anyway, that was it for this one. Yeah, have a good one. God bless.